Hey everybody, so welcome to Free Throws. I'm Coach Kenya. I'm here with Wayno. We're here every single Friday, and we're dropping a new episode for the last, Wayno, how many weeks has it been? It's been
About 2 months.
no, it's been longer than that. It's been almost the whole quarantine, so it's been at least three.
About 3 months now. Shit, nah. Like,
We lost track of time.
For real, it's been a lot. It's been a whole lot, for real. How's everybody? Like, how you doing, Kenya? You good?
I'm good. I mean, I'm here, just trying to stay creative and trying to stay inspired. It's been a long few months since all of this has been going on, but, this has been a good time for me to really tap in, you know what I'm saying, in all different levels of my life and really focus.
Right.
So, yeah. And I've just been encouraging people to do the same.
Right. So,
yeah. And I just want you to explain real quick, Wayno, just remind people what Free Throws is and why we're building this community.
absolutely. So, for anybody who's new to Free Throws and hasn't been here before, Free Throws is a platform that I started 3 years ago on IG Live, and basically, my intern was telling me that people wanted to talk and engage with me. This is before EDS and all of that, and we figured out how to do something where we could share information. Free throws is all about the concept of the free throw is to take a shot at a question towards me, and I can answer it however you like, and it's related to business, usually, but if it might be related to something about life. And I wanted to create a platform. Me and Kenya, we brought it back, and we wanted to create a platform in a community where, we could just have conversation with like-minded people and see how we could genuinely help them. So if you want free throws today, hopefully this is a step in the right direction, or whatever it is you want to do in life. Music, culinary arts, we like Google. We got suggestions, not answers, but good suggestions.
For sure.
So thankful for everybody who's on here today.
It's funny too, Wayno, because I was just thinking, like, I always wanted to do like a mastermind group. You know what a mastermind group is? Where it's like a collective group of people that sit together, and if they have they're like-minded, right? And they think and they share ideas, and like, I feel like this is a version of that in some way, shape, or form. So, like Wayno was saying, it's a community. We're here for y'all to just exchange information, network with each other. So make sure that, you pay attention to what everybody else is saying, because you never know what someone else is going to say and what you're able to connect to, and it might be a good connect for you. All right.
Right. And real quick, a lot of times, people are looking for certain things when they come on free throws, and there's somebody in the chat that might be, doing some of the stuff that you may be inquiring about. So, the chat is also for everybody to connect with and, just share. You know what I mean? Like, it's social. We all on social media. Drop your handles in the chat. Somebody might be a rapper looking for beats. Another person might be a producer looking for an artist. Y'all could connect in here and just keep it going, Now, if y'all pop off, I might need a fee, but that's another story. You know what I'm saying? but it's just for us to all connect. You feel me?
For sure. All right, cool. So we're gonna get started. I'm gonna just start up in the right-hand corner with SB. If you can unmute yourself and give us your handle and your question.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Why you got a coat on?
All right.
Nah, because I just came inside the crib, you know what I'm saying?
From where? Were you in Alaska, dog? It's like 90 degrees outside in New York.
I'm in like the DC area.
Oh yeah, it snows in July out there. I get it.
Nah,
what's going on, SB? How you doing, brother? You good?
But man, you know what I'm saying? Everything good, you know what I'm saying? I'm just working, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like my IG handle is at Slow Burner. I'm an artist from like the from the like DMV area. In a small city called like Tacoma Park, but I'm from Ethiopia though. You feel me? Like Africa. But yeah, like I got like a lot of music out. I got a project out right now called For the Folks, and my website is slowburner.com. If y'all want to purchase music on there or like stream it or whatever. But yeah, so I wanted to play y'all like a song. That's what I put on the thing. I don't know if y'all could hear it or.
We'll try.
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead, play it.
Yeah, go ahead, play it.
All right, bet.
Turn my volume. Can you turn it up?
Yeah, it's up on my end.
say they want no bar, but they was stalling. Yeah, we got your mix, can't call it. They say they want no bar, but they was stalling. Every day a blessing, nigga can't call it. Yeah, we got your mix, can't call it. They say they want no bar, but they was stalling. They say they want no bar, but they was stalling. We got your mix, can't call it. They say they want no bar, but they was stalling. Every day a blessing, nigga, I can't call it. It's that hustle, it's that weight in the water. It's that shit that have you praying to your father. It's that weight in the water, fall like weight in the water. Till I think won't change when it's cold like water. Know some niggas lost their mind in the water. Fuck that, I did just some things for the profit. Stop it, that's just petty change to the giant. Watch it. We got the mix, can't call it. They say they want no bar, but they was stalling. We got your mix, can't call it. They say they want no bar, but they was stalling. Every day a blessing, nigga can't call it. We got your mix, can't call it. They say they want no bar, but they was stalling. They say they want no bar, but they was stalling. We got your mix, can't call it. They want no bar, but they was stalling. Every day a blessing, nigga, I can't call it. Okay.
But yeah, so yeah, like my question was like, what's a good way to roll out like a single or like an album, you would say?
Wait, say that again?
Like, what's a good way to like roll out like a single or like an album? You know what I'm saying? Cause be a way I might not been doing it right.
I say to honestly to roll out a single or an album, you should give yourself at least 4 weeks, you know, to kind of come up with a plan. At least 2 weeks prior to come up with the plan, and then 2 weeks after that to execute. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I honestly, like, you know, it's all about what your message you're conveying. All messages ain't the same. So when I say message, I mean I'm saying like, oh man, you got to be positive. You got to be talking about the brothers. Like I'm not saying that by no means. Yeah. I'm just saying it's like whatever you want Slow Burner to be known as, you got to take just some extra steps or extra precautions as to how you explain that. So what's like, you got to think of yourself as a consumer sometimes, right? Like, why do you buy the clothing that you wear, or why do you buy, you know, the products that you might have in your house? What was it that caught your eye about these certain types of things? And sometimes when you look at it from that perspective, you might find a way to apply, you know, some tactics, you know, some tactics into how you roll things out. I look at, you know, I've never been an artist a day in my life, but I've managed definitely a few different artists. And I look at it as like, you know, how do you throw the consumer a party for their birthday? You know what I mean? Like for the people that listen to your shit, for the people that really like you, for the people that enjoy you, you know, of course you want it to be, we all want it to be like this large thing one day, but it has to grow bit by bit. So it's like, what's some of the things that you may do or even discuss with your consumer? Mm-hmm. You know, if you're an up-and-coming artist and, you know, your following may be, you know, pretty small, I don't look at that as a hindrance. I look at that as kind of like a blessing, because the difference between you being able to engage with an audience that is growing, as opposed to like you being on having some hit single and it being on a label and you can't even catch up. You got to depend on everybody else to look at the analytics and look at the data. Yeah. It's a little bit better when you can control that. So like, even if it's, you might want to throw like shit. If you got 10 people streaming or 100 people streaming, start up a group chat. Like be like, go get your little Google Play number or something like that and start up a group chat and be like, yo, like, you know, y'all liking my music? What's some of y'all suggestions? You know what I mean? I'm just speaking out loud. You know what I mean? I'm just thinking out loud. But you know, these are some of the things that you could possibly do in order to get your voice out there. But you know, I'm always big on digital marketing. You gotta figure out a digital marketing plan for yourself. And it's a lot of ways to get that type of access and information, especially with today's world. You can find out anything.
Yeah, facts, for sure. Because my thing is like, I got Slow Burner, which is like the fashion, and then my rap name is Slow Burner, right? So it's kind of like what I'm trying to like make sure like doesn't happen is I don't want my fashion lane to look like merch. You feel me? It's more so I want to brand it as like the next could be like Gucci or anything, but then Slow Burner is just my rap name. You feel me? That's kind of like strategy where I could do that. You feel me?
Yeah, the thing about it is like, you know, fashion and music kind of run synonymous, but at the same time, like you wanna kind of differentiate the two, only because it's two different bags. You know what I'm saying? There's two different bags, there's two different worlds. And when they kind of blur with each other, you know, it puts you in a position where people might say, well, this nigga's his clothing is so hot. Why is he rapping? Or they might say, yo, his rapping is way better than his clothing. So you want to kind of keep it a little bit separate, but still keep them close to each other, but not like blur the lines. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's the goal, to make it like two different things, but it's just so, kind of like the way I'm kind of going at it with is like, you know how you got the rapper Gucci and then you got the clothing line Gucci.
Right.
It's just that in this situation, I'm the rapper too. You feel me? But I make it like two different.
I mean, but you in order to be successful, you're gonna have to get the education in both realms. So just think on that. Like think about getting education, you know, in both spaces. You know what I'm saying? Like so that you're not doing one more than the other. Because the thing about it is like sometimes when we doing a lot in both, it might feel like we're doing a lot and we ain't doing nothing. We just doing shit and nothing's being effective. So you know, if you handle one and then that one could take care of the other, then that's usually the best way to go.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So just kind of like hustle parallel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. But just like I said, man, like fashion is a tough game. Get the education in there, and so is music. So try to get as much information that you can on it.
But for sure, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. I appreciate both y'all.
Yeah,
appreciate you too.
The only thing I would just say too, I like the name. I always tell people, you know, it doesn't hurt to trademark your stuff and own your stuff.
Not just trademark, just trademark.
Oh, perfect. Okay, good. Very, very good. All right, good. Yeah.
I don't know if you saw, but the young brother Travis, he asked for a request. He says that he has to help his disabled father, and he will be short. So
yeah, we can cut to Travis.
All right, cool. Just wanted to throw that out there, you know.
All right, no problem. All right, so thank you, SB. We appreciate you. Hopefully you can stick around for a little while. And we're gonna move to Travis.
For sure, appreciate y'all.
All right.
How y'all doing?
Good, how are you?
So, you know, I was on here, I think, probably a month ago.
I remember you.
Yeah, he was giving me advice about, you know, about how to get my music and stuff out there. Man, a lot has changed since then. Shot my first video, everything, you know, been learning some more stuff about the business, you know, writing stuff down, taking notes of all your answers to questions on every episode. So I just came on here to just share some insightful information that might be a help to everybody else in here. First off, SB, Slow Burner, you know, the way you can come up with a plan, like as far as a single, like nowadays, off of what I researched, I mean, everybody is different, but it's more of a single game now than albums, like, especially if we're like unknown people, for people that's trying to get in the game. So like, basically like just develop a plan, you know, your Spotify marketing, find the YouTube marketing plan, you know, on your Instagram, if you got an audience, you know, post about, you know, host giveaways, to, you know, for people to interact with your stuff, like giveaway, like, you know, cash, you know, $50 Cash App, $100 Cash App, this or that. Reach out to TikTok influencers. Make sure on all your songs you got, you know, the lease for your beats, unlimited leases. You know, one thing I had to learn early, bro, I used to write a lot of songs, man. Like I told Wayno before, I got a lot of music, don't know what to do with it. So like, before you even write your songs, if you like a beat, even if you didn't write the song yet, make sure you buy that unlimited lease, brother. Because once somebody buy the exclusive rights to a beat, you can't do nothing with that song. You can't drop it. You can't make no kind of money off of it. So yeah, I just wanted to, you know, throw some stuff out there as far as tips and like certain things. You know, it's little stuff that people don't know, you know, like, and people don't even think to research stuff like that. Cause
I'm grateful that you know, being that you don't have a lot of time, that you took your time to come back and just, you know, throw some of the education out there, man. That's big of you, for real.
Yeah, my Instagram name is Travis_straight cash. But most definitely, man, try to find you a manager. You know, don't don't let none of your friends manage you. You got to have a serious person that knows what they're doing and that wants to help you out and work with you for you. Like, for example, I'm on the same management team as Fat Boy SSE. And man, chemistry is crazy. Like, just be able to tell who's willing to work with you versus who's willing to just charge you for the, for money. Like, at first he said $200 a month, paid him $200 the first month. After that, no charge. He genuinely fucks with me. He likes the music, likes the vision. So man, just keep going, keep working. But the most important thing is about the beats, man. Make sure you purchase your beats. And that's why that's another thing I was getting ready to say what Wayno just said. If any producers in here that want to connect, A&Rs, they host one-on-ones with artists, and they say, the main thing we do is to connect artists with producers, engineers, art guys. You want to connect with a producer, build a relationship with a producer, because as far as YouTube beats, everybody is competing for a beat. They all fighting for that beat. The guy, I have a record called Bad Thing. It's a nice Jamaican. It's a great record, but lost out on the record. Exclusive rights went to somebody named J Balvin. I think he's a big industry artist or something. And producer told me, he gave me the email information. You can reach out to the artist and buy that beat from them, the exclusive rights. But of course, if an artist got a song already to a beat that he liked and it's a good song for him, he's not going to negotiate that beat. So just keep that in mind.
Thank you, Travis, man. We appreciate you, man, for real.
Yeah,
thank you.
I know. We appreciate you so much.
I appreciate you too, Wayno, man. You and Rob Markman from Genius. I really pay attention to both of y'all. We really need more people like y'all, bro. Like, I really appreciate y'all. I mean, y'all giving us free game.
Thank you, man. That's what we doing it for. That's what we here for.
All right, but yeah, y'all take care, man. I'll be back next week.
You too. No doubt, take care, Travis. Be well.
No doubt.
All right, so we're gonna go to, is it Deji?
Yeah, it's me. Yeah.
How you doing?
Can you see me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Camera's on.
Yeah, we can now.
Yeah, I'm doing well, thanks. Thanks for having me on again.
It's kind of hard to hear you though.
Oh. Is this better?
Yeah, I can hear you.
We can hear you now.
Hello?
Yeah,
we can hear you.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, it's a bit quiet. Wait, hello?
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah. Okay, it's better now.
Okay.
Like, it's for Wayne and my question. So basically, it's about like a copyright in music, because basically a couple of weeks ago I was making some content for YouTube, and then I got a strike from UMG, Universal Music Group. But then like I'm seeing on like Twitch and stuff, some artists are letting like the music be allowed for streams and whatnot. So I was thinking, and even with like things like TikTok, I can see more trends and people making money using songs. So I was wondering, like what do you think? Because you work at Asylum Records, I believe. So so you're in the industry. So I was thinking, like in the future, like how do you think it's going to change in terms of copyright for content creation and stuff?
I mean, the toughest thing that I run into today, especially like with producers creating music, is like the melodies. Like, it's so many producers that don't make like the melodies anymore, where it's like, they go on Splice and they buy these kits, and it's cool because like you feeling like, damn, all right, I'm getting my start. I buy this pack with all these melodies in it. But the thing about it is, it's sometimes it becomes a setup, because as soon as you land something, then you get hit with all of these different legal fees. Well, not legal fees, but legalities as to they want part of your creation. So I think like the change is gonna come in when more artists get back to like maybe going back to the MPC and making their own melodies, as opposed to just buying these packs. I mean, it's really accessible, but in the long run, if you're really gonna do it for real, it really doesn't benefit you, because like the brother Travis was saying prior, like what I've dealt with is like, even with going on YouTube, you go on YouTube and the artist finds a beat and you love it and they come out with a record, and then you buy the license. Even when you do buy the license, you got certain producers who, when they do a producer agreement, what a lot of artists don't know is that in order for a song to come out, you have to do a producer agreement for every single song. So if somebody has 20 records on their album, they have to do a producer agreement for each and every one song. Now, they might say, hey, I've licensed this beat throughout the universe, so I can't be held accountable for whomever wants to sue you for using my record. And I can control all of the master parts of the record because I created it. But anybody, the only person that's liable is gonna be you on whatever label you're signed to. So like that's the or whatever label you're working with. So that's the messed up thing that comes with, you know, the producer game, that there's not enough, you know, original creators as it used to be. I mean, there are, but at the same time, they're using all these different packs that got all these different license terms and shit on them that nobody's reading. And most kids that's doing this from the comfort of their own home, they don't have the time to seek legal or the resources to seek, you know, legal to consult them or something like that. So I think, you know, in order for these things to change with all these different TikTok and now you see America's trying to ban TikTok, you know, because it's a Chinese app and all of that. So we gotta see how that even plays out. But I think as it grows, you gotta just compose your own shit, you know what I mean? And the problem with even composing your own thing, and I learned this from a musicologist that I worked with since 2003, this dude named Ian Allen, he works for Universal Music Group. You know, he's incredible. Like, what he taught me is that a lot of producers, you might subconsciously be influenced by something. So let's say when you was a kid, your mother played this Prince song, like, you know what I mean? She played this Prince song 100 times while you were in the crib. And then one day you might not create the whole entire Prince song, but you might use a couple keys in it, right? You use these couple of keys and now you can't clear the record because you subconsciously have been influenced by Prince, but he owns the copyright to those keys. So it becomes a really, really, really tricky game that if you're a creator, you don't really want to even put yourself in that mind frame because you just want to create. But I think like it all goes back to doing your own composures.
Yeah, so would you say, because like I'm gonna put out a YouTube series soon, so like would you say like I use all my beats, the ones are free for non-profit? I mean not for non-profit but for free for profit use, because in that way if I make any money from it, people can't come back to me and say oh yeah, I want to carve my pie and stuff.
As long as this is what you do. I don't know the game of like selling the beats from YouTube. I've never dealt with that, but what I say is if you're composing your own stuff, make sure that you own it all, like you copyright it, take whatever precautions or measures you need to so that you're in charge of the copyright, because somebody could easily say, all right, I bought this for $100. You seen the kid, what's the kid that sold Designer Panda? He's from the UK. Menace, I think his name was. His name was Menace. He sold Designer Panda for $100, and I don't know if Designer had the entire license, but if he did, you know, hypothetically speaking, if he did, imagine you selling a beat for $100 and it goes on to go diamond, and all you have from it is that $100. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure Designer did the right type of business or good music. You know, whoever he signed to at the time did good business, but nightmares like this happens all the time. You know what I'm saying? So just make sure that you secure your stuff.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, A&R. Thank you.
No doubt, man. Thank you, Deji, for coming back. All right.
All right. So is it AI consulting? Or did I get it right? Or is it Al?
You got it right. But the company is our platform. But first, I want to say thank you guys very much for the opportunity. I'm really appreciative for it. So my name's Andrew. I'm based out of Toronto. And what our platform is a content resource site. So what's on our site is we have music videos, we have fashion, we have a section for shops, podcasts, things along those lines. So my biggest issue I'm having at this point is more so along the lines of branding and marketing, as well as getting merchants on board. So I've tried already to reach out to managers of different artists, just try to get them on a larger scale and try to aim for the top and shoot down. But I was wondering if you have any other kind of suggestions on ways to possibly get vendors or just ways to build a brand for something else.
Hey, Kenya, you got anything for him first?
Yeah, well, so I just want to understand a little bit more. So you have a content platform, right?
Correct.
And it consists of podcasting. You said you have music up there. Okay. And when you say merchants, are you talking about advertisers, or are you talking about? Okay.
There's 4 sections to my site. One section highlights music videos. The second section highlights podcasts and interviews. The third, models, and the fourth is like an e-commerce site where I resell other individual brands. So for example, I think I can't relate to someone else that's in here. So for example, I'd reach out to someone like him and put their product on my site and just take a service fee of each transaction.
Gotcha. So who would you say is your core demographic? Like, what are who gravitates towards the content that you put out?
My core demographics are between the ages of, let's say, 18 to 44, and I'm trying to target primarily people in the hip hop culture. So I'm primarily focusing on like men's and women's fashion, like urban fashion, as well as beauty products like wigs, bundles, eyelashes, things along those lines.
Okay. Well, this is like perfect timing, right? Because everything that's going on in the world now, right? There's these buckets of multicultural advertising dollars that are out there that are just waiting for us to come get them, right? So what I would say is, I would build a whole list of brands that you would want to reach out to and connect with. LinkedIn is a great way to get in front of brand managers, CMOs, people who handle those buckets of dollars, and anybody who handles like multicultural marketing placement. And there's a lot of companies now that have somebody in place that speaks specifically to multicultural advertising dollars. There's even, Black ad agencies. Burrell is a real big multicultural agency out in Chicago that focuses on multicultural ad placement. So I would say start reaching out to agencies, start connecting on LinkedIn, and just kind of, I would work my way through there. A lot of times you could just pick up the phone, send an email, say, hey, look, I have my platform. I'm sure you have a media kit, or you have something that you send out that demonstrates what the reach is, what the core demographics are. If you can demonstrate that in a very effective way, brands will justify, spending ad dollars there. What are your numbers like in terms of engagement?
And this is the challenge for me right now, because the brand will just launched, let's say 2 weeks ago or so. I don't really have proof of concept at this point. So some of the larger vendors I've reached out to, they said reach out back in 6 months when I have more of a traffic.
Right.
Most of my demographics that I've grabbed so far is just based upon my Instagram. So I don't really have much to go off of. I do have like the Google Analytics and all those things on the site, so I can track it.
Right.
Divide it
So
out.
I had a question for you, Kenya.
Yeah.
Would some of these things apply to him even though he's in Toronto? Because would that be a conflict because it's an international type thing?
No, because there's a lot of brands that look for that reach, right? So you know what I'm saying? So if you have a brand that you actually would have to go after somebody who handles like the global marketing probably, because that would be that, specific lane. But yeah, I don't think you have an issue. I think what you're going to have to do is a conceptual sell right now, because you don't have numbers, right? And I used to sell a radio station that had no numbers, right? So you can do it. Right. So it's basically, you're going to sell them on the idea. You're going to sell them that, right now, Black voices and our content is very relevant right now. So you're in a good time where brands are looking to gravitate, and you're at the, ground floor of it. So maybe there's some brands who, maybe it's not about the money right now, but there's some sort of exchange in terms of like you leveraging their platform so that you can grow and you can go get those numbers, and you still have that, imagery of a sponsor that's there, because that's what's going to attract other sponsors. Like once you have one sponsor, even if it's not a paid one, the fact that there's that presence that's there is going to make it look legit for a lot of other brands who you're trying to reach out to. So I would say look for partnership opportunities at first until you can brand yourself and grow bigger. And then you shouldn't have an issue once you have some numbers behind you getting to those bigger brands who want the numbers.
No, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
No problem.
You're welcome.
I was just gonna add, for your site, you guys doing exclusive content?
No. So it's not exclusive content. So from my understanding, this might be a bad place to ask, but I believe that if you repost the content on YouTube, there's 2 forms that you can repost. I think one's the CC, I forgot what the CC stands for. and the other one is, as long as I reach out to the person I attempt to get the consent, I show that I have consent, I could reuse their link as long as I use their link.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, like, that's another thing. Like, if you're a site that is posting up content, exclusivity is like the key. That's why you see, I mean, like right now we got Netflix, we got Amazon, we got Apple TV, but now we got Quibi, right? Kevin Hart is about to drop a movie with him and John Travolta on Quibi. Why? Because it's like Kevin Hart could have took it anywhere, but Quibi had the best situation for them. So I'm just saying, it's like that exclusivity is what is going to make people have a draw. So it might be like an up and coming, like you said, you post stuff about hair.
Hair products.
Hair products. You might need to reach out to some of the people who do the hair products and see if they'll just send you like a 1-minute tutorial on how to use the hair products properly. For me, you know what I mean? Like, I've been going through my hair struggles, but I'm trying to grow mine back. And I've looked into like a lot of different hair products just simply by, going on YouTube and searching for different information. So if you have the exclusivity to a brand and say, hey, like, I see what you guys are doing, you're a growing company, would it be possible if, like, you could do a 1-minute tutorial on how your product works, and I'll just post it on my site when people, and they'll use their, like, because people who have companies, they always want people to support them, no matter who it is, whether it's a dollar amount or if it's word of mouth. So if you're like, yo, I'll use my platform to push yours, maybe they'll use their platform to push you as well. So see if you can start, drawing out some exclusive content with some of these things.
No, I appreciate that. Both ideas are really good. Thank you very much.
No problem. That's what we're here for.
I would definitely lead with, I'm a Black-owned business. Like, we need to be leading with that in all things.
And they acting like they like us more than ever right now. So you got to.
And to be honest, I've reached out to a number of distributors that sell Black-owned, that sell Black products, and that's pretty much what I've been leading towards, right? So,
dope, man. Well, listen, man, we here, yo. When you start getting up and running, just check back in with us and let us know what you got going, man, for real, so we can support.
I appreciate both of you guys, man. I really appreciate you guys. Have a great night, man.
You too. Take care. Be well. All right, so we're gonna move along. Can't relate.
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm good.
Got a nice ambiance going on. You feel me?
Oh, there's a lot going on over there. I had to get the ambience right for Wayno, the leader of the culture. I appreciate it.
I appreciate that.
Kenya, I'm out here. I'm in Vegas on some business, but I just wanted to use the time to introduce you guys to our brand. It's called Can't Relate. It's a gun violence brand, represents beating adversity, never quitting. So I wanted to like chop it up a little bit about our experience, things of that nature.
Okay, what's going
on? Well, I just was hoping to use the platform to let you guys know we have product. We would love to make you guys some product as well. I lost my older brother to gun violence, and it kind of stemmed the whole movement. And in 2010, so we kind of organically, like I was listening to Al when he was talking. That was very interesting because we're like the opposite. The way we brand, we kind of build up relationships organically, and we just bet on ourselves. Kind of like Emery said, it's like as you're going through the process. You can go to another company and ask them for help, but a lot of the time they might shun you for different reasons. Like they may say you don't have enough people, and it's like, who are you to determine what I don't have or what I do have? And it's kind of the same concept of in my eyes, it's kind of the same concept of when people say you have a small business, and if you put that in your mind, your business will always be small. So it's like we'll help out all the small businesses, and that's it. I mean, that's just one of the topics I wanted to cover. I wrote something.
No, I mean the concept is already ill because ironically it's called Can't Relate, but like I've lost I got a tattoo on my arm of like my first friend I ever had in my life when I was 19. He was 17. I lost him to gun violence, and I've lost like tons of friends to gun violence. So that's something that already strikes me. Because I come from I don't like to call it the hood. The hood is a mindset, but I come from an area that has a certain type of mentality, and I've been trying to figure out ways for years to kind of change those mentalities. And, you know, what you're saying is resonating with me, because, you know, it's something that's affected me and affected people I love. So, you know, I think you're already starting off on the right foot, you know?
Absolutely. Much respect. I always listen to, like, I listen to you on Everyday Struggle, and it's like a lot of the things that you're discussing, they hit home. I mean, I'm 32 years old. I've been doing this brand for about 5-6 years, and I don't speak too much, like, about, you know, certain situations. They may be beautiful situations. They might have been dreams at times, but looking back at it, it just becomes regular, and you're like pushing the envelope to do so much better. And I'm fighting against gun violence. I'm going to schools, talking to kids, things of that nature. And I've been to probably about 30, 40 schools, and I kind of give them the message that what happened to my brother could happen to you. And clothes is just a concept. Like, it's cool. You might have the coolest shirt on, a hoodie, whatever it may be, but it's a bigger message. And, you know, I always listen to you. I'm like, that's somebody to connect with. Like, we've connected with a lot of different people and put clothes on people, but some have a different concept of life, and they see things from a different lens. And I salute you on that. I've been watching my boy Ricky Ricardo. He was on the other day. I was watching him go on and on and on. You know, that's my little brother. And I just like, yo, that's dope as well. And let me slide in here and talk about Can't Relate a little bit, or a lot, because I talk a lot too. Respect.
It's all good, but no, we definitely appreciate you, you know, coming on and talking. I mean, you know, unfortunately, like, our common denominator is something that's not positive, but we can make positive out of it. You know, I think that, like, you know, you talking to, I've been to schools, and I've spoken at schools before, high schools, middle schools, after school programs, all of that. And I think what you're doing is, like, it's the most selfless type of work, because I've gone in the room before and spoken to these kids, and they look bored. You know what I mean? As soon as you walk in, they're not even looking, they're not even, like, trying to hone in on what you're saying initially, until you start talking to them in the language that they understand, until you start showing them that you got tattoo on your hand the same way they do. You know, and I think that you know, for the route that you're going, it's all about the message, and it's all about the messenger as well. You know, I feel like you 32, I'm 37. I had people come to my school when I was younger, and it was always like a guy who, he had a suit on, and not that there's anything wrong with suits, but, like, it wasn't somebody I could really relate to. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I got this guy coming in here telling me how good he did in life because he didn't go outside. Well, guess what? I go outside. So my interactions or my journey is a little bit different than his. So to see a brother, you know, young, because you're 32, you're very young, you know, to see a brother young like yourself, to be putting yourself in a position of vulnerability, because it's also not easy to talk about these things, you know, like to be able to talk about these things and have the transparency with the youth to tell them, so that you can stop potentially, hopefully, you know, a lot of these kids is knuckleheads and they're gonna do what they do, but that's not stopping you. I really salute you for that, for real.
Yeah, 1000%. I was just gonna say that I think what you're doing is so purposeful, and I think it's important to have a brand that's purposeful. And, you know, and I don't knock the Gucci's, and I don't knock all the designer stuff that we have in the world, but, you know, a lot of that stuff we don't even own, right? And we support it, and it doesn't really do anything for our people. So I always respect people who come up and who are creative and who create something that's really serving the greater good, you know? So I also admire what you're doing, and sometimes you just got to fight the good fight of faith. Everything that, you know, is always positive and good, we sometimes doesn't, you don't think that people are gravitating towards it because we think it's not lit, or we think that's not what's popping. But I think we're in a time where people are just, you know, being more aware, and they're being more conscious. And I think it's important for brands like you to emerge and, you know, have a presence, because we need these type of conversations and these type of dialogues for sure.
For real.
Much appreciated. I appreciate it. It means everything to me. And thank you for giving you guys feedback on everything that's going on. I would love to make y'all some products, so I guess I'll reach out directly. I have one other question. I don't want to take up too much time. I know how you guys are. Wayno, this question is for you. Is at what moment what was the turning point for you when you knew what you wanted to do? or have you reached that turning point yet? You know, like
yeah, I know what you're saying. I'll say like for me, the last moment I had where I knew what I was gonna do of myself was I was 29. My lady was pregnant with our third child, and I was gonna be 30 in the end of the year, and I had $1,000 to my name, and I got laid off from my job. And it was the second time that I had been laid off from this company that I gave maybe 7 or 8 years to. And it was a feeling. It was like, I've always been the guy, like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be before time. I'm gonna stay late if I have to. I'm gonna do, and I'm not a company man, but like if I'm riding, I'm riding. And that's whatever I do. So I had given this company so many years of my life. I grew up there. You know what I mean? I came in at 22 years old. Now I'm 29. I got laid off for my second time, and it's not my fault. They came to me and said, hey, you're doing all the things you're supposed to, but we got to cut back. And at that very moment, I didn't want anybody else to be in charge of my destiny as far as like how I was going to make money. So I had said to my lady, and this is like probably the craziest shit ever, only having $1,000 to my name. My unemployment actually got pushed back because I claimed unemployment for an extra week. So they charged me time. So it was like, yo, you're getting back on unemployment, but we got to put you on hold for 3 months because you claimed the extra week.
Man. I know.
Right.
I know
it was a tough time, but I went to my lady at the time. We was living, like I said, we was we was on our third kid. We was living in a 1-bedroom apartment in the projects. And we didn't even have a living room. We just made it into 2 rooms. And I told her, I say, listen, if I can't make anything out of this I'm gonna try to do my management company. I'm gonna do whatever I can. If I can't make none of this shit work, I'll go and get a regular job. And I say it's the stupidest thing, but the smartest thing I ever did. It's stupid because like at 29 years old with $1,000 to your name and your third kid on the way, you should not be making no decision like that. But at the same time, I think that because I was hurt because I gave so much. It just put a fire under me where I was like, I'm not gonna fail. Like I was like, I'm not gonna fail. I failed again after that. Like I failed a few more times after that. But eventually things took a turn for me, and ever since then I haven't looked back. And a lot of times when I get a chance to talk to brothers like yourself or sisters that ask me that question, I always tell them, the power of belief is a motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like we believe in all these other things, and I'm not knocking anybody's faith because we all come from different walks of life and we all have different faiths and different ways we come about. But we believe in like the world is crumbling and everybody's wondering what Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole think. You know what I'm saying? Like we put more faith in the artists before we put more faith in us educating ourselves about our people and seeing how we can help. We believe in entertainers. We believe in sports figures. We believe in politicians, but we don't take that same belief and apply it to ourselves enough. And that's why me and Kenya decided to do free throws, because I'm no God by no means. I don't even associate my name with a God, but I feel like all of y'all, everybody that's on here, because you took your time, you took an hour out of your Thursday evening to share with us, y'all are more than halfway there. Man, y'all are more than halfway there. And if I could be a part of y'all journey, just by like you seen the brother Travis, he's like, yo, I was here before, and then the brother Deji, I was here before. If we can keep doing this, that's what I'm doing it for. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like everybody deserves their shot. Everybody's gonna get their shot, and sometimes we need a little bit of nudging, and that's what free throws is for us, for me and Kenya to give you that little nudge. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I hope that helped.
Once again, no, of course, man. Come on, anything you kick in it, I'm always listening. I appreciate y'all once again, and Al, I'm gonna connect with everybody in the chat, and make y'all some gear eventually. We'll figure that out.
Please do, man. Please do.
We love that. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
We got Rayvon. He's been very, very patient.
Yeah, Rayvon. Rayvon, were you on before?
Yeah, he was. I believe so.
Are you from Michigan?
Bro, from Flint.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I remember you.
Yeah. What's up?
What's up, Rayvon? How you doing, brother?
Good. How y'all doing? I just want to thank y'all for giving me the time. Y'all gave me some real good advice last time, man. Y'all had me fired up, man. I was geek. But
man.
I'm gonna get to the question. Basically, what skills y'all are like required that you like? Let me, how can I phrase this? What's like the biggest factor or like skill that helped you get where you at today?
That's hard.
Well, it's not too hard for me. I can tell you. Ironically, it's a skill that a lot of people is not gonna want to go and get, but not like. I'll say ironically, it's like, all right. So mailroom, right? Me going into the mailroom gave me people skills, because like when I worked in the mailroom, I did it twice. I did it at 18. That's what got my foot in the door in the music, and then I did it again at 22. After music. But being in the mailroom, and I noticed this after the fact of me being at Rockefeller and all that, and having to go back, it made me a people's person, because when I was in the mailroom, I'm dealing with every department. Like I'm dealing with 3 floors. 3 floors are my responsibility, and I'm walking and talking and making sure people got what they want and getting what they need for at least 100-something people that don't see each other until the holiday party. So, it's kind of like, you ever watch a TV show and I'll say like The Wire, right? Like a person might watch The Wire and say, all these people know each other, but if you really look at it, a lot of these people are never interacting with each other. It's like, they dealing with them over there, they dealing with them over there, they're dealing with them over there, but because you're the viewer, you're getting a chance to view it all. So me being in the mailroom, I got a chance to learn and meet so many different people, and people skills is like the cornerstone of business, because like I said, man, I come from, I wasn't put in a position to really thrive or make it or become a vice president. I couldn't be a vice president at any other company than a music company because I don't have academic education. So like for me to be a vice president of a company, for me to be, a host on a show, for me to have worked in all these different things is all a testament to my people skills. So I think like if you learn how to have conversation and you learn how to deal with people, and that could be through how can I say, community work. You can learn these things, these skills. That's how I think that's the only way to really be a city council person or be a mayor or even a president. Like, you know what I mean? If you really know what the people is going through, you know what I'm saying? So people skills is what's really got me to where I am today. I know how to hold a conversation with the toughest killer on the planet and the most corporate person on the planet as well. So, people skills for real.
I think for me, and this is probably more of a quality than it is a skill, is tenacity. Like, I've always been real tenacious. Like and with anything in life, like when people tell me no, like, or anything like that, just makes me want to do it more. Right. And I'm like the person, like, you ever get bullied by a bully ever? You see how a bully kind of goes back and they beat the same person up over and over again, but that same person, if you keep fighting and you keep believing in what you believe in, eventually that bully's going to stop coming back. They're going to leave you alone and you're going to get past that. So I think tenacity is important, because I think life just throws a lot of stuff at you. I mean, I'm not supposed to be, well, I won't say I'm not supposed to be sitting up here, because obviously I am, but I was a teenage mom. I barely got out of high school. And a lot of the choices I made were my choices, and I made it a lot harder on myself than I should have. But like at the same time, like, I still could be living in public housing. I still could be struck. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm supposed to be a statistic. So it's like for me, the fact that, by the grace of God, I've been able to just get to this point, you know what I mean, says a lot just about the power of being tenacious and just not giving up on yourself. I mean, people will give up on you before you give up on yourself. And I think that you just have to believe in yourself. And when you believe in yourself, like Wayno says a lot of times, the power of belief is strong. When you believe in yourself, I feel like that's contagious, and the right people will start to believe in you. And as long as the right people believe in you, you know what I'm saying? Like, sky is the limit. So I would say tenacity is.
Yo, Kenya, you know what's so crazy? So real quick, Ray, tenacious is a word I learned from my mom, right? Because my mom was a job developer. So when I used to go on job interviews, they used to tell me, like, tell me something about yourself. And I used to be like, you know, I'm tenacious. They used to be like, tenacious? Like, how do you, like, people be so excited about you knowing that word. But it's what's crazy about it is like, it kind of plays it exactly what Kenya was saying. Cause I mean, what I was saying and what Kenya's saying is like, you know, learning, man. Like, I think, I tell this to my son a lot, you know, education, a lot of people root education in only going into a building, you know, going into a building and going to a school. Education never stops. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're educating yourself right now just by like in engaging with us. So it's like, the thing about education is that it's infinite. I always say that knowledge is the only currency that can't be taxed. Like, yeah, some people is like, oh, but you can get taxed by student loans. I'm not talking about that. even if you went to school and learned everything you ever learned, nobody can take what you learned. They can't take what you learned from you. So it's like, and I remember before you were saying about like different things about like you trying to help your neighborhood and all that stuff, man. Like, I feel like, you know, just by you coming back is just a testament to how eager you are to really pursue what you want to do, man, for real.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. And then I just got one last thing. Y'all got any books to like suggestions, anything like right now, or?
We got books for days. You want to go, Wayno?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes some of my book suggestions can be a little bit controversial. Like one of the books that I really used to read a lot just got banned by like prisons, by state prisons, is the 48 Laws of Power. You know what I mean? Because that book it's a good book, but it's a very manipulative book. You know what I'm saying? So
say it to me again.
The 48 Laws of Power.
Okay.
48 Laws of Power. One that I started reading, I actually got this suggestion from Charlemagne, and Charlemagne got it from Nipsey. It's The Way to a Superior Man. I forgot who that one's written by, but The Way to a Superior Man. I read a few chapters. I didn't really dig into it, but the first few chapters are really good. And another one I'll say is The Way to a Meaningful Life, as told by the Dalai Lama. I was on like, you know, I'm a Muslim, but I still was like not on a spiritual search, but I was on a search just for knowledge and just a search for like how to deal with the world and how to deal with karma. And this book taught me so much about, you know, how to treat the universe, not just how I treat other people, but down to how you treat insects, how you treat plants, how you like the projections on how you speak, you know what I mean? Like the things that you speak on, how they can become things for you. You know, if you speak about certain things in a negative light, then it most likely will come to you, because if you're speaking it, you're thinking it, and then you'll put yourself in the environment for it to happen. So it's like, you know, those are 3 books that I really suggest.
Say, I didn't get the third. I didn't get the full. It's like a way to what?
The way to, let me see if I could Google it real quick so I can give you the exact one, because sometimes I might say the wrong one. Give me 1 second.
I feel that though. That's
Meaningful Life. Yeah, it's called, I'm gonna tell you right now, How to Practice. It's called How to Practice the Way to a Meaningful Life. His Holiness, the Dalai Lama. So this is what it looks like right here. If you can see it. If you want to screenshot it or take a picture of it, you can.
Bro, this is crazy, bro. This is crazy. It's a whole playlist on Apple Music with this man on it, bro.
So listen, this book right here. I'm 37. I started reading that book when I was 26, 27. I gave my son that book last year, and he started reading it. And because he was just, you know, he's a kid. He's 13 now, but he was 12. He was making a couple of mistakes, and I was just like, yo, you gotta read this book, because you'll start learning about how you treat shit. If you start treating like good things bad, it's gonna come to you. It's gonna come back to you. You know what I mean? And he learned some of his lessons. He's still getting his bumps and bruises because he's only 13. Right. But, you know, I started reading that book 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And I still go back to it every now and then when I want to catch a lesson or two. So it's a really good one. It's a good read.
Miss King, do you have a book?
Oh, I mean, he gave you a really good list, so I didn't want to like throw too many things up there. But I like The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. That's a powerful book. I believe everything with us happens subconsciously. And I believe that like we really pre-program ourselves from our experiences from when we're kids and when we grow into adults. So I think like in order to, you know, manifest things and really have breakthrough, you have to reprogram the biggest computer that we know, which is our brain, right? So I think sometimes we block ourselves. So I would say that's a good one. I mean, I read my Bible every day, so that's always a good one. And then anything that has to do with like, you know, universal law. I'm reading this book right now. It's by Raymond Hollowell. It's called Working with the Law. So I don't know. I'm just kind of a nerd, and I'm into like science and, you know, anything that has to do with the brain and the mind and how we can change that, and you know, anything that we could do to help ourselves evolve spiritually. Those are always my recommendations.
Okay, thank you guys. I really appreciate it, man.
No problem, man. We appreciate you coming on, man.
Thanks for coming back. We you know, the support means a lot to us, and thanks for everybody who stuck around. You know, we are at the end of the free throw. You know, every single week we're here, and I have to tell you, like, it feels so good to see the support that we get on the other side with you guys liking our stuff and sharing it and inviting other people and telling everybody about it. So, you know, that's what we ask that you continue to do, because, you know, we want to grow this community and we want to be here as a resource. And that's it.
That's it, y'all. Peace, man. Appreciate all of y'all, yo, man. Every one of y'all, you know, just please spread the word. Tell another person about what we got going on if you feel like we can help them.
Yes, please. And take care of yourselves and be safe and be well out there.
Absolutely. Peace, y'all.
All right, bye.
Thanks. Bye.